On November 20th, 2012, the Grinnell Pioneers were facing off against Faith Baptist Bible College in a Division III matchup, and little did either team know this would be an historic moment, and a moment where Division III basketball got put on the map when Jack Taylor of Grinnell College set the record for the most points in an NCAA game by a single player with 138, putting himself and his school on the map, as many have never heard of either, making national news. And we're going to talk about him today on Daily Sports History. Welcome to Daily Sports History. I'm Ethan Reese, your guide as you daily learn about more sports history, increasing your sports knowledge, as today we learn about high-scoring affairs in college basketball. And today's trivia question to listen out for is, what was the previous record for the most points in an NCAA basketball game? Now, we talked about previous high scores, as we talked about Bevo Francis, who scored 113 points in a single game. We also talked about Austin Carr, who scored over 60 points in an NCAA March Madness game. And we even covered Wilt Chamberlain's 100-point game in the NBA. And today we're going to talk about the most points scored in an NCAA game. Now, normally when we say NCAA, everyone thinks about Division I. Now, the most points scored in a Division I game was Kevin Bradshaw, who did so with U.S. International against Loyola Marymount in 1991, where he scored 72. And there have been 4 players to score over 100 points in college basketball. We already talked about Bevo Francis. There's also Frank Salvi, who led Forum to a victory, who scored 100 points for Forum in 1954, and J.J. Culver of Wayland Baptist University scored 100 points in 2019. But today we're here to talk about another man who made this list twice, in Jack Taylor of Grinnell College. Now, if you think that NCAA Division III basketball is kind of a joke, you might be mistaken. Now, there are some great players at this level, and we've seen some great NBA players come from small schools, such as Dennis Rodman, Ben Wallace, and Scottie Pippen, all played for schools that were not Division I. And even Duncan Robinson, who plays for the Miami Heat today, came from a Division III school. And having worked with Division III basketball coaches, there are some great teams and great play being done. I've watched plenty of it, and I'm amazed. Most Division III basketball players can play any regular person out of the gym. So don't think that these players are just coming to play because they have no other options. These are great levels. So let's start with, who is Jack Taylor? Well, he grew up loving basketball, and he grew up in the Kobe Bryant era, so he tried to model his game after Kobe Bryant. And though he attended basketball camps at places like Duke and Stanford, and would go on to play high school basketball in Wisconsin and led her 4 straight years, he only grew to be about 5'10", which makes it incredibly hard in basketball-wise to get a whole lot of looks. His senior year in high school, he averaged over 20 points and almost 5 assists, hitting over 40% from three-point range, and was named his Conference Player of the Year and was named All-State. Although he got some interest from Division I school like Columbia and some Division II schools, he didn't get any athletic scholarship. So he decided to attend the Mercerburg Academy, which is a postgraduate school where they help players get in a more positive light athletically. Although he struggled, as within 9 games there, he tore his ACL and his meniscus, which means he missed the rest of the season, and he decided later to go to Wisconsin lacrosse. Now, he was still kind of recovering, so he came in as a reserve role, and he only averaged 7 points his first season at Wisconsin lacrosse. And he actually says this is when he really started to get frustrated with basketball, as he was struggling to recover from his knee surgery and struggling just with playing time. So he decided to transfer to a new school, which was Grinnell University, who had been recruiting him since he was out of high school and even when he was at the Mercerburg Academy, but he always went somewhere else. And he finally gave in and went to the Grinnell University. Now, Grinnell College was started in 1846 and was formerly known as Iowa College. And they follow an open curriculum, which means there's not a prescribed class list and students are able to guide their education for themselves. and they started playing basketball in 1900, but they didn't win their first conference title until 1941. But what really made Jack want to go to Grinnell is they were running something called the Grinnell system, which was a new kind of offense that's sometimes referred as just the system. It's a fast-paced offense that the coach at Grinnell College had instituted, David Arsenault, and it's a variation of the run-and-gun offense, which was made popular by Loyola Marymount in the 1980s, and it focused on three-point shooting and full-court press and allowed frequent substitutions. So Jack loved that opportunity to score a lot and shoot as many three-pointers as he could. And Grinnell showed that this system really worked, as they had led the NCAA in all levels of scoring for 17 of the past 19 seasons. And in the 2003-2004 season, they ranked second in NCAA history, averaging 126.2 points a game. He actually led the team in scoring with averaging 23.5 points, averaging just 13.5 minutes a game in just the first two games he played there. But the Grinnell's coach wanted to get him some more playing time, and he decided to do that on November 20th, 2012. Now, this was a home game for Grinnell, and they came in with a 3-0 record, and Faith Baptist had not won a game that season. And Grinnell's coach decided to make Jack Taylor the focus of this game, as he was the only player on the team to play more than 15 minutes, as he played 36 minutes. And they started out fast, and they did not look back, as Jack scored 58 points in the first half, and giving them the lead, 85-46. But he wasn't done. He came back the second half and did even better, scoring 80 points, making 18 three-pointers in the second half, including 7 consecutively during a 2-minute stretch. During one stretch of the game, he scored 28 consecutive points all by himself, a Division III record. He also set the record for the most three-pointers, and this all led to him scoring a total of 138 points, hitting a total of 27 three-pointers the entire game. And he set NCAA records for the most three-pointer field goals in a game, the most three-point attempts in a game, the most field goals, the most field goal attempts, and his 80 points and a half was also a record. And before this, his highest score in high school was 48 points. He went above and beyond and broke Bebo France's record set in 1954 of 113 points, leading them to a victory 179-104. Now, Faith Baptist College tried to keep up and had David Larson, who scored 70 points in this game, all without a three-point shot, as they were trying to keep up the best they could. Now, this game got national news, as his hero Kobe Bryant, LeBron James, all posted on social media about this topic. He got to talk to ESPN and got to appear on Good Morning America, Jimmy Kimmel Live. He received over 300 email requests for interviews from all over the world. And Pizza Hut actually did a promotion where you could buy a pizza for $1.38. In the following game, they faced off against William Penn, and ESPN and multiple other media outlets came to watch this game, where he only scored 21 points in a losing effort. And unfortunately, another injury took the rest of the season from him, as he broke his radius bone in your forearm, and he would have to wait till next season, where he's coming back to try to lead the nation in scoring. In the season opening game, he scored 71 points. And then the following game against Crossroads College, he passed the 100-point mark again, scoring 109 points. And he would go on to finish the season as the nation's leading scorer, averaging 28.8 points, making 5 three-point shots a game, and be named to the All-Midwest Conference second team. And in his following senior year, he would also lead the nation scoring 28.4 points and be named first team All-Conference. And upon graduating, he did enter the NBA draft, although he did go undrafted. But he did put on a showcase at Las Vegas that featured many international and European leagues. But by 2006, he was no longer interested in basketball. He would go on to get married and have kids, and he owns a video production company and is a local TV personality in Wisconsin, and has gone on to live a life outside the limelight. And I'm willing to bet if you walked past Jack Taylor on the street, you wouldn't realize he was one of the greatest scorers in Division III NCAA history. And if you want to learn more about small college basketball, check out the Small College Basketball podcast where host Chris takes you through Division II, Division III, NAIA, USCAA, and NCCAA levels, highlighting the major moments and milestones that often go forgotten at these smaller schools where there's great basketball being played, all beyond just Division I basketball. We'll put a link in the description below for you to check that out. And if you enjoyed today's episode, please leave us a like and review wherever you're listening. That really helps us when someone finds our podcast to know that it is a great show for them to check out. And come back tomorrow for more daily sports history. And did you catch the answer to today's trivia question? What was the previous record for the most points in an NCAA basketball game? And the answer was Bebo Francis with Grinnell College scoring 113 points in 1954.